This is one of the most remarkable finishes in ultra marathon history. This is Jasmin Paris finishing the Barkley Marathon.
Oh my God.
That race came down to the last 90 seconds before she would have run out of time after 60 hours of running. So the history of this race is crazy, right? It starts with James Earl Ray. Do you remember that name? That's the murderer of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And one time he escaped from prison and got away for like 2 days, but he only made it 8 miles. He didn't make it that far. So a guy named Gary Cantrell decided that he was going to troll James Earl Ray and come up with a race that runs in the same vicinity, but runs 100 miles. In fact, it goes right next to the prison. So every year they gather to race, and it's this big troll of James Earl Ray. So only about 40 people compete in this race, and it runs the gamut from experienced runners to like total novices. And in fact, they give bib number 1 to the person that's like a total novice. They call them a human sacrifice. You have to register for the race via paper mail, and the registration fee is $1.60. And if you get accepted, you're sent a letter of condolences from the race organizer, Gary Cantrell. The date of the race changes. Sometimes it's in April, sometimes it's in March. And the time that the race starts is sometime between midnight and noon. The race starts when Gary Cantrell lights a cigarette. And you race from that yellow post that you saw. You run a lap back to that yellow post. And you do that 5 times with the laps switching direction throughout the race. The course is about 100 miles long, and you run 5 laps that are roughly 20 miles. But it's just kind of an estimate because the course changes all the time. There's no actual trail. And so sometimes you're just running through bushes. If you look at the racers, they have cuts all over their arms and legs from competing in this race. As you run the race, there's different checkpoints that are books. And when you get to those books, you have to rip out a page that corresponds with your bib number. And when you finish the lap and get back to the yellow gate, you show the race organizer all the pages you collected on that lap. The elevation change of this race is nuts. It's 60,000 feet. That's like climbing Mount Everest twice in one race. This race is so crazy. There's documentaries about it. One called The Race That Eats Its Young, and the second one called Where Dreams Go to Die. Only about 20 people have ever finished this race, Jasmin Paris being the first woman. Now that you know that, watch her finish again and cheer this woman on for what she just accomplished. Absolutely incredible.
Oh my God.